So I go and yeah, so basically my husband was not there and I give birth to the babies. Like, and I'm on whatever anesthesia or freaking spinal taps and this, so I'm high as a motherfucking kite. The best part about it was I didn't mention that before, but my dad worked at the hospital that that I was having like my high risk appointments and stuff at, and where I was giving birth at. So he was there right away, and my doula was there. Like, she got there right away. She beat us to the hospital. Shout out to Lee Money. Shout out to Lee Money. Hey, shout out to. Yeah, she beat us there, and yeah, Nanny was there, and then eventually my husband came, and he was like, "You gave birth already?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah, we gave birth already." So yeah, that was cool. My sisters, all my sister friends and stuff showed up. It was nice. Like, it was definitely a warm welcome to a very change of plans. But the only thing about it was I was not prepared for the NICU at all. Like, I was not prepared for my babies going into the NICU. And that shit, like, having a C-section and a NICU, like, doing all that walking and, not walking, but it was a lot, like, because they were in the NICU, so they had to stay in the hospital for, like, 2 weeks. But they got that breast milk, you know, the best milk. And, that definitely, you know, got them out faster because they projected that they were going to be there a month because they were a month early. And they got out in 2 weeks. So, yeah, we moved to Nanny's house. During that time, like, I was dealing with postpartum and pain and, like, just trauma, like, not being with your children. That's pretty hard. Like, I've empathized and sympathized with all the NICU moms because that was tough. That was tough. On top of postpartum, which these fucking idiots don't believe exist. And obviously, whatever other mental issues Velvet is already dealing with, on top of postpartum, which is very real, no matter what diet, what sun, what ground you stand on, it's still real. Okay? So, I'm sorry, those people just irritate me. That guy, just irritates the fuck out of me. So he was like, yeah, so just going back and forth to the hospital and stuff like that. And we had made the transitions to my grandmother's house. And it was cool, whatever, but, you know, we made a change of plans and we decided that we were going to move 2 hours away. Like, we wanted to have our own space. We didn't really want to live with somebody because, you know, you don't want to do that. Like, it seems good when you don't have any other options, like when you don't have money or when you can't afford or are not able-bodied to go out and get some money to have your own things, have something to call your own, then yeah, it's going to sound crazy to just be living with somebody and having to be under their rules and stuff like that. Like, nobody really wants that. People want it, not me. And other people don't want it because a lot of us in America live by ourselves. So, we moved to Columbus, which is much more financially progressive than Cleveland. So, my husband got a job right away, and it wasn't a good job. Like, he was working for pennies, and he was going to work. Oh, I forgot to mention that too. When he saved his money, he basically saved enough money for us to be able to live so he could stay home with me because he knew that I was going to have postpartum. Like, that's the difference between somebody giving a fuck about you and not introducing 2 and 3 more wives to your house because they can't have sex with you because you think you are a sexual object. You know, they make decisions in your best interest. So, my husband saved up enough money while I was pregnant to be able to help me out, like take care of me and stuff and help me with the babies and stuff. Like, it's very unrealistic to expect that just because I'm a woman that I can take care of 3 children by myself while my husband goes to work. And I just had, like, I went from 1 child to 3 children. Like, that's going to be a transition. That's a major transition. So he knew that. He foresaw that. I didn't even foresee that, but he foresaw that. Because he's older than me and has sense and cares about me. So, not 20 years older than me. Just throwing that out there. So, yeah. So we moved to Columbus or whatever, and then, you know, he got a job, not a good job, and he was working. And then, you know, we were introduced to entrepreneurship, and he started his business from the ground up, because we don't want to work for anybody. We don't want to work for anybody. That's not our plan, but sometimes you have to work for somebody. So basically, he had opened up his business. Sorry, y'all. He had opened up his business, and I was still, you know, taking care of myself. I was going to therapy, and I was just focusing on raising the girls and stuff. I wasn't making jewelry all like that, and in that moment, I felt bad about it. Like, I felt like I should be working and doing stuff, but at the end of the day, that was a transition. Like, I was transitioning into motherhood of 3 children. So that's a transition. Like, I'm just looking back, like, giving retrospect. Like, yes, you need that time to adjust. Like, especially going from 1 to 3. I know 1 to 2 is a serious adjustment too, but 1 to 3 is like goddamn bananas. So, I needed that time, and, you know, I took off after that, you know. So, you know, he was working at, no, he wasn't working at the factory. He was working on his business, and I started doing Uber Eats and Postmates. So we were working for Uber Eats and Postmates with our cars that we had, because you can have like an older car. You can have an older car to deliver food, and I told y'all we had the van. So we were working for the I'm sorry, I'm just getting away my thoughts. Yeah, we were working for Uber, and he was building his business, and, you know, it was taking off. Like, it was really getting big. It was to the point that the universe was, like, literally made us stop living for Uber. Like, because we were going to keep going with it. I'm like, you know, it's extra income. Like, you know, it doesn't hurt to have extra income. And we would take our whole family with us. Because I was a breastfeeding mom. Like, I breastfed the girls until they were like 18 months. So it's not like I could leave and go to work. So we made the sacrifice, and we had our kids in the car with us, and we were delivering food, and he was delivering deliveries for his business, and we were just working our way up. We lived in a very terrible apartment. I told you we moved from Cleveland to Columbus. So we lived in an awful apartment that they made it look really nice on the internet, but it was trash. Like, it was garbage. But we didn't complain or stuff like that. I made a plan. Like, I probably still have that notebook. But I wrote out exactly what I wanted. Manifestation does work, but it has action behind it. Like, it's not gonna move for you. You have to move. You gotta make the move. So, I wrote down exactly what I wanted. I wanted an office. I wanted my husband to have an office. I wanted my children to have a playroom. I wanted a washer and dryer. I wanted a huge backyard for my garden. I wanted a fence. I wanted a patio. I wanted the girls to have their own room, my son to have his own room, because at the last apartment, the girls were sharing a room with us. You know, I wrote down what I wanted. Exactly. And we worked towards it. We had it written down, hanging up on our wall, and we got to busting ass. So, we have moved at this point, so because we only lived in that trash box for a year, we was like, we're not staying here longer than a year. Like, that's not gonna happen. So we moved out of that place, and that's why we had kept working, because we had, like, moved. Our bills and stuff had tripled. Like, we had to pay rent, gas, and electric at that apartment we were living at. But once we got to this house. That shit doubled. It was like much higher rent, all the utilities, lights, gas, water, trash, internet, like everything. At the old apartment, we was sharing internet with our neighbors. So like, yeah, we had made so we were still like working. We like our bills just doubled, so we're still going to work on Uber and stuff. And literally, like, our car would just break down, like straight up. It would just break down, like it would just stop. Like, we would be delivering food with our kids in the car, and damn car would just stop. So we were like, okay, well, I guess we can't do that. And I was almost about to be sad about it. And literally, so that day, like, I want to say the next day or that same day after we quit working for Uber, I had just got this influx of sales on my website, which I really wasn't getting. Like, my sales weren't that good. And I was just like, what? I'm like, okay, so the universe supports this. And his business was going up. And, you know, he got a little more serious about his manifestation and writing down his numbers. Like, he has a really, like, strict ritual that he does to track his money and, you know, to make sure he saves 10% every time that every time he gets some money, he saves 10%. He's been doing that for maybe a year or two now. And, you know, he was working on the business. We've expanded. We have, you know, people that are working for us in Cleveland, and we have people working for us in other cities in Ohio. And, yeah, like, the rest is really history. Like, we're about to level up, of course. Like, we're working on our next level, but, and now, you know, it's getting better. Like, I'm getting bigger. I started learning more about business and marketing and how to create inventory and stuff like that. And, you know, just make sure. I'm still not an expert on it. Like, my shit is a mess, but I'm heading in the right direction. And now I just started tracking my numbers and stuff. And I'm seeing the growth in that. Like, you can actually see yourself growing once you write it down. Like, you have to write everything down. You know, like, I even have an app on my phone, self-employed QuickBooks app that tracks all my purchases. So, you know, I can separate business from personal, like, right away, which is only like a simple level. Like, for people who really know business, then they have, you know, accountings and tax preparation and all that. You know, I'm just starting small. I'm starting from, you know, where I'm at. Yeah, like, I'm just saying that to say that if you have that mindset that Elijah teaches, you're doing it wrong. You cannot make a plan to live off the land and do this without money and try to build something for yourself like that. Like, you have to make a plan and you have to work towards it. If I was Serenity and Rambo, if I couldn't I'm just putting myself in their shoes, which I pray to God that I'm never in that situation. So putting myself in their shoes, if I was them, I'm in Hawaii, I would save all of my donations so I could get a flight back to America where it's cheaper. I would find another island place to live, South Carolina, Florida, Louisiana, like anywhere on the coast. Texas would be a really good place. And I would, you know, apply for housing or stuff. Actually, I would move somewhere where I could live with somebody, you know, and, you know, help them out to work or help out around the house or whatever. Somebody that's going to give me a moment to, you know, get on my feet. And where I don't really have to pay. Like, I can just work and stack up money. One of y'all get a job. One or both of y'all get a job. You're a breastfeeding mom, Serenity, so I wouldn't suggest that you get a job. And I feel like, coming from personal experience, I feel like y'all can make it on a one-person income if y'all live somewhere that's affordable, like the places I just suggested. But do your research to find a place that's more affordable. And find a place that's more affordable. And, build from there. Come out with a business plan. Come out with an actual plan. Like, research places that you want to buy land. Research how to grow your food. How to get your own water sources if that's what y'all want to do. Maybe even look into building a tiny house or something. Like, do whatever you want to do. But don't just be, like, on the internet, like, people don't want to help us out. And they don't want to support the movement of us living back in nature. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't support homeless people just because they want to be homeless and not work. Like, I know it's one thing if you're sick or whatever like that and you just, you fall on hard times, that happens. But just because you made the decision to, like, if I just wanted to be like, fuck everything and I just want to live on the land and eat trees and eat the branches and walk barefoot, like, with my 3 children, they'll be like, okay, like, so should we call the facilities, or are you gonna call? Like, please do that. Please, if I ever do that shit again, because I've been there, I'm not telling y'all something that I never experienced on a certain level. I've never experienced that, but on a certain level. And like I said, I have friends who did the same thing, went over to Hawaii and just had this magical plan that is not realistic, especially for going somewhere that the income is 2 and 3 times higher than what you're used to. And for them, Serenity and Rambo, it's 100 times higher than what they used to. Because they wasn't paying nothing. Besides, whatever the initial carbonation fee is, or, whatever you donate to the pot. But, yeah, so I hope that this story was helpful to somebody. I thank you all for listening to me. We got out here, so we have to be supportive of one another and share information and, really try to be helpful, really try to help people. Like, we're not trying to embarrass people or, do all of this stuff. It's all entertaining and crazy ass shit, and we love to rag on Nature Boy. I love to drag and rag and tag toe his ass, like Jazzy said. But, we have to help these people because he's preying on weak-minded people. And he's preying on the fact that these people want to better themselves, which is no issue with that. We all want to live naturally. Not all of us, but we all want to live an abundant lifestyle naturally, freely, as free people. But that happens from building your own stuff or investing your time and energy into somebody else's plan that is respectful of you, does not want to enslave you, and, work on our goals. But it's not going to happen like that. You cannot just step out on faith. Like, it's the same thing. Like, this is nothing but religion with a wrap and a chiefess scarf hat, whatever. Chiefess headband. Like, this is nothing but a religion called carbonation religion. And, people who believe in Jesus or Muslims who believe in Allah, they can't just be like, I just want to live naturally and Allah's going to take care of it. No, Allah's going to look at you like you crazy and be like, nigga, get your ass to work. So, that's all I want to say. If Serenity or Rambo happens to see this message, I send it with love. I'm being much nicer than Nation Boy ever be, so I'm definitely not saying this for negativity. I'm just sharing my story and my version of it. Like, you can absolutely live the life that you want to live. Like, I'm not even done yet. This is only my first step. I'm still planning to live, like, on the water and have my own everything. Like, my own homes, my own resources, like, all of that stuff. That's still a part of the plan, but it takes a while. Like, it even took Nature Boy a while. Like, how long has he been at this? And all he has is a real property. Like, we're trying to build something real. He's built something fake. He tricked y'all too. The same way he was tricking us with the illusion in the reality show is the same way he's doing to y'all. This is his show. Everybody else is the puppets. So, that's why it took him a while, and it's still going to take him a while. If he really wanted something real, then he would have invested with the guy Phoenix, like the guy who has 90 acres of land. Like, y'all could have been had with $300,000. Y'all could have fucking hella homes and shit. Like, but he wants to be in control and have this like groupthink mindset that is just like unrealistic. And that's all I got. Yeah, y'all have a good one. One thing to say, because this is just how much I feel like I can relate or speak on the Rambo and Serenity story. I'm about to watch the update, so I'm gonna come back with another update. But I just gotta say this: Rambo looks so much like my husband. It's crazy. Like the same nose, like the same big crooked nose, like it's crazy. And even when I was showing my husband the videos, he was like, "Damn, that guy looks like me." I'm like. Like, I wasn't going to tell him that because, you know, he a Gemini. He choose when or when not he going to be offended. So I wasn't going to say that. Hey, babe, I love you. So, Rambo looks so much like my husband. And that's how I know. Like, I know you can get it. I know you can get to the bag. You just got to snap out of this mindset. Like, the nigga lied to you. And Legio lied to you. I get it. Just come on now. Come on now.